Hello, everyone. So glad you could make it for today's live. Unfortunately, it'll just be me, myself, and I only, and no wingman like POV or anyone else. So you guys just have Molly all to yourselves today. And I hope that's okay with you all. I'm so glad you guys can make it. I see that Love UK is actually in the chat here. And everyone say hello to Kylie. And I know if you guys aren't if you guys are thinking, who the hell is Mole talking about? Kylie is Memes by Kai on X. And I actually wanted to share this with you guys here because I'm so glad she stopped by. Because if you guys don't know, she actually makes her own coloring books. And Memes by Kai has this coloring book that you can order on Amazon, which I got myself, and it doesn't hurt the wallet or anything, just full of pages of the best little British things that you can color in. And no, she didn't ask me to do this or anything. I'm just letting you guys all know about this because I bought 2 copies and I'm ready to buy more. These books are so fun to give out to people as a gift or just have something fun in your car on a road trip with the little one. I suggest you guys all pick one of these up because I love this. I love this book. I love this coloring book. It's so much fun. Okay, guys. So we need to talk about a couple things here. Hello, everyone. We got to talk about the absolute caca fest that is the never-ending caca show of the 2 delusional dingbats of Montecito, who, whenever they try to take 2 steps forward and trying to make their public image, I don't know, better than the dumpster fire it already is, well, guys, they've been smacked right back down to reality. And I am sitting here laughing my head off. And in a way, my friends, in a way, doesn't it feel like this is almost like their karma for everything that they have done to the queen? Anytime they try and commercialize or what's the word that I'm looking for? Or benefit from anything off the royal family, it's like the ghost of the queen comes over and just smacks this bitch's plan out of the air and ruins everything. She just pops her bubble. She bursts her balloon, and Meghan Markle comes falling smack back down into reality. Guys, this is so funny. She must have been on a 3-day grift and high, just being walked around Nigeria thinking that, oh, I'm a 58-year-old woman who is now a princess. And first I crapped all over the UK people, and then I took a huge dump all over the Canadians after I used them for security. And now that the Americans are paying our way, but don't tell them that they are, even though the Biden administration have security guards watching us. And yes, these American stupid taxpayers are paying for our bills here. Now that they know that I am nothing but a liar, a grifter, and a fraud, I am now going over to Nigeria to use them. And then later, I will caca all over them too. These are complete strangers that Meghan Markle is pretending, I am your family. This is my home. This is my country. Girl, you were born in LA. Your family is straight out of Tennessee. What are you talking about? My country, my home. And the best part is that they were quickly brought down to reality when Meghan Markle, who decided to prance around in a place like Nigeria, where over 63% of the population is in poverty. She wears over $120,000 in outfits and jewels and whatever other else garbage to play like she was the second coming of Diana. And yeah, it all like this is the woman that claims to be a humanitarian who cares about other people. And this is what she does. She flaunts her newly gained wares, and only gained because she laid on her back for a dumb, mentally ill man who just happened to be a prince. And he fell for her shtick. She pulled the biggest con. She pulled the biggest trick, the biggest gold digger's trick in the manual, and claimed she was pregnant when she wasn't. And the stupid oaf fell for it. Nobody wanted to marry this ginger dimwit who happened to be a prince because he wasn't all there. The corkscrews weren't all there. He was short. He wasn't. What am I saying? Oh, dear goodness, my friends. This was terrible. And the funny part is that while Meghan Markle wore all these expensive clothings and still looked like she was dragged out of bed every single morning and looked like a mess, she just her stylist, what is it, Daniel Martin, came out and said, "Oh, I'm so proud of her for doing her own makeup. Meghan didn't have any hairdressers or any makeup artists with her, and I'm so glad with how she looked." And I was thinking, if Meghan Markle was a a woman who actually wants to support other women, there are lots of hairdressers and makeup artists in Nigeria, in Abuja, in Lagos, where she was, that she could have contacted via Instagram through her American Riviera orchard. She could have had someone come and do her makeup for her, someone local, and highlight their work. But it wasn't about them. It was about no other females. It was all about Meghan and her lies about being Nigerian. Meghan Markle couldn't even have another woman say, she couldn't even put the spotlight on another woman, say, "Hey, look, this girl is a makeup artist here in your area and she does amazing work." I mean, she probably could have put on some better eyebrows on Meghan Markle than the big ass caterpillar she had on her forehead there. It looked like a friggin' unibrow by the way she was going. But again, this woman did nothing to highlight anyone else. She calls herself a woman in leadership. Leadership where? You want to know a woman in leadership? That's the queen. The queen was a woman in leadership. You laid on your back for a mentally ill prince and got him to marry you. You are not a leader in any way. Well, no, I wouldn't even put you a leader of teaching people how to blow some eggplants. But anyways, we won't get into that yet. This trip was horrible. This trip was horrible. And after this, while they were on their way home, what happens in spectacular fashion? Of course, the news hits that Harry and Meghan's Archewell Foundation are delinquent. Yes, they didn't pay the $200 fee for their business to be in good standings, and they haven't filed certain paperwork that they've been requiring, because what has been happening is that Harry and Meghan love sending in paperwork without signatures. I think you guys watched Lady C earlier, where she was ranting about how Meghan had Omid's eyebrows on his face. Yes, I was watching Lady C earlier before I came on here, because you have no idea how quick I ran to her channel when I saw her notification pop up. Nearly broke my thumbs pressing to get on there. But guys, yeah, this is crazy. So I know a lot of other channels and everyone's talking about this, but we need to talk about this too, because the more people and the more channels that talk about this, then it won't get buried in typical Sussex fashion. So Harry and Meghan launched their charitable, they call it charitable, but it's only charitable for Harry and Meghan, since all of everything is probably going into their own pockets, allegedly. Um, what is happening is that Harry and Meghan's Archewell Foundation, and remember, it's just only foundation in name. I got to thank Resting Dollface, who really hammered the fact that people need to remember that Archewell is a public charity. It is classified as a public charity. It is not a foundation. It is only a foundation in name only. Even when you, let me pull up this list here, even when you pull up their charity filing, their paperwork here, let me close this and this, you can see on their paperwork that it is also reason for public charity status. It's an organization that normally receives a substantial part of its support from a governmental unit or from general public described in Section 170. So basically, Archewell, by what I'm understanding, Harry and Meghan are using Archewell for government handouts, i.e. Invictus Games, receiving funds for Veterans Affairs, things like that. They're receiving government handouts and public donations and basically using the money how they want, how they see fit to their own. Yes, shocking. As Betty Rubble says here, shocking. They're using it as their own piggy bank. I mean, we have all been saying this from day one. This is all Meghan Markle saw Harry as, a personal piggy bank that she could use to fund her whatever lifestyle she thinks that she, I mean, basically it's to pay for all the PR and nonsense to put out that Meghan is such an incredible person when we can all see she is, well, the absolute disgusting human being that she truly is. I mean, let's be honest. Look at her mother. The apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, right? And she's learning from her mother. Molly Canada says James Holt is too busy filming Netflix to do his actual job. They're paying him over $300,000 per year. You know what? I think that James Holt doesn't want to take the fall for it. That's why there's no signatures on the documents. That's why, because if you sign those documents, these are documents that they're tax documents. You could be charged for fraud. This could be some serious jail time and stuff like that associated with it if it gets really messy. And I don't think anyone wants to put their name on that. Botanical says MeghansMole is right. Harry did nothing to uplift or promote anything Nigerian. Designers, stylist, makeup artist, hairstylist. She spent her time pressing her aging skin onto Nigerian men. I wanted to, let me talk about that real quick because Meghan really made Harry look like a loser when they were in Nigeria. She definitely did that to him. She made him look like an absolute loser. I'll just say that for now because I'm not past the allotted time on YouTube where I can let the cursing fly a little bit here and there before, anyways. But let me tell you guys this because Meghan embarrassed the hell out of Harry when they were in Nigeria, because the area of Nigeria that they were in, and Nigeria in general, I know that the Sussex squad are like raging and going and piling on and community noting every single thing that is true about Harry and Meghan to claim that it's not true, because Nigeria is predominantly Muslim, and predominantly Muslim means that I think 54% is Muslim there and 43% is Christian. So Sussex squatties, I know you guys are listening. That's what predominantly Muslim means. So Meghan Markle is in this predominantly Muslim country, and I posted this about an hour ago before I jumped on here. And I just wanted to point out the grip that Meghan has on this man's arm. Just look at her fingers digging into this man's arm. And then, of course, you got this big, creepy egghead in the background who just needed his moment in the sun in all of Meghan's photos with his crappy little Leica camera taking his unprofessional shots. Senor Egghead Misan. But back to Meghan here. What Meghan doesn't realize is that when you're in a Muslim country, she's a married woman. She was like throwing herself at every single man like a cat in heat. And basically, in Nigeria, in a predominantly Muslim area, married women have no business touching other men. I don't care that Meghan Markle, like, all she did was just perpetuate the stereotype that she's an arrogant, dumb American. Let's be honest. She just perpetuated that stereotype that she's a dumb American who's going to do whatever she wants to whatever country she goes to, and she doesn't care about respecting anyone's culture or respecting anyone's rules or anything to do with their society. Basically, Meghan Markle hugged all the hands, like Bernadette said. She hugged all the men and shook the women's hands, and just some of them. Most of them, she just like gave them a little bit of a head nod, if you didn't catch that. But this is what you're not supposed to do in a Muslim country. Married women have no business touching other men in the manner that Meghan Markle was. And the men there probably looked at Harry like, yo, dude, your wife is out of control. They probably have no respect for Harry. I wish I was a fly on the wall in those little communities right now in Nigeria where they visited, just so I could hear the real, like, what people actually thought of this girl. I know, I keep calling her this girl, this middle-aged charlatan. This middle-aged charlatan, this middle-aged ex-cable TV mattress actress harlot who really is nothing but a national embarrassment. Meghan Markle is your stereotypical dumb American that foreign countries can't stand. She is like the dumb. I know not all Americans, because I have American friends, and they are nothing like how Meghan Markle is. Meghan Markle is your aged out actress, your 58-year-old broad who thinks she's in her 20s, who thinks that now she's got a set of Ozempic titties and little bee stingers, that now she is someone in her 20s. She's living out her 20s dream. This is what she wanted to do when she was 20 and young and famous. This is the life she wanted to have. But now she has it as a 58-year-old woman and doesn't know how to conduct herself. Elizabeth says, Misan looks like a weird stalker in most photos I've seen. Yes, I've said that myself too. I've said that Misan looks like an actual creeper in the photos, but I feel like Misan is just as much as an attention whore as Meghan Markle is, because I feel like he wanted to be seen in the photos. He wanted to be seen as, hey, look, it's Misan and he's taking Meghan Markle's photos. I mean, that's just my opinion, because if you've ever worked with a photographer, with a professional photographer, as he likes to claim he is, I don't think that a real professional photographer wouldn't be seen in any photos. And he is literally in all of the backgrounds of her photos, taking photos from the back of Meghan's head, from the side, never full on from the front, because I guess she doesn't want that big ass vein on her forehead to be showing to anyone. Diana Martinez had something interesting to say earlier that I wanted to save. And she had mentioned that, does the call girl have to put the kids on her income tax form? Now, I myself, I don't know, like taxes in the States, yes, of course you have to put your children on your income tax form. And maybe that is something which is why they haven't been forthright with their taxes and stuff like that. They've been hiding forms. They haven't been filing paperwork. and they think that they are above it all, probably. Susan, you agree? Hi, Jamba. It's nice to see you here. Yes, Princess Dumbarton says, where are her children? That's what everyone is wondering. Where are the children? If you are going to your country, your land, your home, then why wouldn't you take your children with you? Yeah, Misan wants to be seen. Yeah, he's a narcissist, just like Meghan. He wants to be seen in the photos, and he wants to be recognized as the person who took photos of Meghan Markle. Let me go here now, but yeah. So Archewell is now, it's hit the news finally. People have been talking about this for a while now, but finally it has hit the mainstream media that Archewell is delinquent and over $200. And it looks really crazy to me that Meghan Markle will go on to a poverty-stricken country and wear over $120,000 in jewelry, but yet you're delinquent over $200. That looks stupid. You look stupid for doing that. I'm nowhere near as rich as Meghan Markle or have like any type of access to the money or things that they have. And yet all my business filings are in order. I don't know, unless if you're being super shady, which they are, in my opinion, then that's the only reason why you would need to hide things. The only reason you would need to hide anything is because you're being shady in the background. And okay, and this is the best part, is that now media outlets like NBC are starting to report on this too. Listen to this, you guys. Let me get this going.
Headlines today: Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Archewell Foundation declared, quote, delinquent in order to stop raising or spending money. But that's not the whole story. Per an official letter from California's Attorney General, the Archewell Foundation has not paid its annual registration fees or submitted an annual report. Dana Griffin joins us live tonight from LA for more on this developing story. So, Dana, what's at the heart of this? What more do we know about the order?
Yeah, Tom. So this delinquency notice was issued May 3rd. And as you mentioned, it said that the couple failed to submit the required annual reports and those renewal fees. At least the foundation, Archewell Foundation, failed to do so. It also goes on to say that an organization that is considered delinquent is not in good standing, which means they cannot raise money. They also cannot disperse funds. And we've seen the couple recently in Nigeria touting their charitable causes and trying to bring attention to that. So this kind of comes at a really awkward time, so to speak, for this foundation.
Yeah, I think people at home are going to be hearing this, and it's going to sound pretty wild that a foundation as high profile as Harry and Meghan's wouldn't make sure their registration fees were up to date. What is their camp saying about this?
Yeah, so a spokesperson close to the Archewell Foundation told NBC News that everything was filed on time. They also say that part of the filing was...
Do you notice, hold on, I got to stop this here for a second, but do you guys notice how Harry and Meghan are allergic to accountability? I mean, they can't even be accountable for this. They cannot even, like, who are they going to blame? Are they going to blame the royal family? Harry probably doesn't even know how to pay bills. Harry probably has no idea what a check is. So he's probably just allowing Meghan and Doria and Meghan's lawyers that she never got rid of to handle everything. And this guy has no idea what is going on under that big old cocaine-riddled schnoz of his. No idea what's going on. So now you have a foreign prince who is illegally in the country on who knows what kind of visa, one that he shouldn't be on, and is now playing games and not paying his taxes, isn't filing paperwork properly, is probably using it as a money laundering scheme. And Doria's probably just in the back hanging out, smoking her weed, loving all of this. Loving all of this. Let me finish this up here.
It's a physical check, and it appears that that check was never received, Well, the spokesperson went on to say that a new check has now been submitted, and they believe that this will all be wrapped up within the next 7 days, and they will once again be back in good standing. Now, this Archewell Foundation was started back in 2020 when the couple relinquished their roles with the royal family and moved from the UK, and they tout it as supporting families and children. And it says that their mission, quote, is to simply show up and do good.
Simply show up and do good off of the backs of others, using other people's funds and then acting like it's them doing the good deeds, right? Let me just tell you, who the hell is writing checks these days? I want to know who is writing a check these days, because how I pay for my business dues, I just go online and pay it online. I mean, this is like we just sent a check in the mail. And if you, okay, let's go with this BS that Harry and Meghan are trying to feed us, because apparently they think that we are all as dumb as her husband that she married. She thinks we are all as stupid as dimwit Harry. But if you did send a check, wouldn't you have it tracked? Wouldn't you send it through certified mail so you'd get a tracking number? You'd get someone on the other end to sign for it, and then you would get all of that. This is all BS. And this notice, they were apparently notified of this delinquency back in January. The Daily Mail has reported that they were aware of this in January. And then on top of that, if you guys don't know, the royal grift, and I posted it on my X account, but I'm going to post the link in the description box of this video once I'm done this video also. The royal grift highlighted that 1 year ago, the Archewell Foundation public charity, let's call it for what it is, because they're only the Archewell Foundation in name. They're not an actual foundation. The Archewell Foundation public charity was delinquent 1 year ago. This is the second time they have fallen into delinquency. And they were notified of being delinquent in January of this year. Right here. According to the records seen by dailymail.com, the charitable foundation, which was launched by the couple with much fanfare, as always, with everything that they do, in 2020, was declared delinquent in January of this year. It is now May. We're in January. Like, this was back in January. We're in May now. That they were declared delinquent in January for not filing its annual registration renewal fee reports or renewal fees since February 2023. Now, this is the best part that comes out of this happening, because now that these two doofuses want to put their company back in good standings, they're going to have to supply more than what they had to. Oh, January 2023. Sorry. So January last year. Sorry, it's been delinquent since last year, not this year, last year. My apologies, guys. Thanks chat for clearing that up for me. They've been delinquent since January of 2023. And yet they're going around with their hand out, leeching off of other people, expecting them to pay for their bills. How are they paying for all these lawyers and stuff? Harry owes money, millions upon millions, to the court cases he's lost. Who is paying for all of these? What is going on here? Now here, Rob Bonta, the Attorney General for the state of California Department of Justice, who is the gentleman who filed this delinquency notice, has said that if the company wants to go back into good standings, let me read this to you. So, yikes. Where is the part that I wanted to read? Okay, so an organization, this part. This part right here at the bottom. An organization that is listed as delinquent is not in good standings and is prohibited from engaging in conduct for which registration is required, including, listen to this, including soliciting or dispersing charitable funds. The organization may also be subject to penalties, and its registration may be suspended by the registry. So basically, Harry and Meghan, in order to get their company out of this delinquent status, they have to notify everything that they have given in and out of the Archewell Foundation. So basically, what they have to do is that they have to let them know all the money that they have put into every single charity or fundraiser, third party, what they have taken in. It's like a full-scale audit. And what I want them to actually look at, what I want them, and I'm going to say this here, what I need them to look into are two things. Number one, the government needs to look into the over 13, well, it was 11 back then. But Harry and Meghan have, let me pull this up here, have at least 13 different accounts registered in Delaware. And this is done via Meghan Markle and her lawyers. Okay. Who set these up. Now, why would a couple need 13 LLCs? Well, if you're taking money from one to the other, 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 to the other. And not only that, not only should they be looking at these 13 registered, or 11, I think that there's more now, but not only should they be looking at all of these accounts, but there's one specific account, my friends, they should be looking at. And do you know which one that is? Come on. I think you all know what I'm thinking. I think you may know what I am thinking. The government needs to look into the fake business that Doria Ragland is president of, and she is the president of Loving Kindness Senior Management Incorporated, which is a company in foreign stock, which was incorporated on October 22nd, 2019 by Meghan Markle's agent, her lawyer, Richard Janot, the same gentleman who registered all 13 other shell companies in Delaware. They really need to look into this, because all of those companies come back to the same address of their lawyer's office, Richard Janot's Wilshire Boulevard, 5th floor office. And they should really look into, this whole thing that Doria has, that's under Doria's name. Because look, if she's running a facility for veterans and Harry and Meghan are really, really scamming veterans and government agencies claiming that they're doing things for veterans, this needs to be looked at. This is where a lot of funds could be getting laundered through, especially since they're caring about old people and claiming they care about seniors. They don't. This is all a big con. This is all just a big cash grab for Meghan Markle to leech off of government handouts under the guise of, I'm a charity and I'm helping people. It's not true. Everything that they do is a fraud. Meghan Markle told us all from the very beginning when she said, I am such a fraud. We should have listened to what she was saying. When a person speaks, listen to their words, because usually most of the time they're telling the truth about themselves. And Meghan Markle calling herself a fraud, the fact that she would sit in an auditorium and openly tell a story about how she lied about a certificate to be on a show and she is such a fraud, take a person at their word at times. I believe that, like others have said, look right here, Ginger, you're thinking the same thing. Doria is likely all behind this. Not only just Doria, but look at other people like Marcus, Doria. These people, like the lawyers that Meghan Markle has around her, they probably know how to scam and work the system. And this is all fraud. Now, here's a question for you guys. Marie, you make a very good point. She will go to jail for fraud just like her mother. Do you guys think Meghan Markle will go to fraud ever, will go to jail ever for fraud like her mother, Doria? Who knows? They're all shady. They are all shady, Penny Lane. They are all shady. Kids Irrelevant, right. They went to Nigeria knowing about this delinquency and they still donated despite knowing their company was in delinquent status. What does that tell you? These people are nothing but a couple of losers and a couple of frauds. SAJ says, Molly, I hope so, is like the Chrisleys. Yeah, the Chrisleys, nobody should be above the law. And this is why Harry and Meghan are so insistent on getting their IPP status. This is why they want their IPP status. Because then she can go around doing horrific things like this, using the government for government handouts for her benefit and claim that she's a charitable humanitarian when she's not. Some of you say, no, she'll get away with it. She openly lied in court and got away with it. Yes, but that was the UK court. And I feel like in a way, the UK court was still protecting like Harry. I feel like they were still protecting Harry by letting her get off of it. But I feel like the States won't let her get away with it. I feel like they have already made the Biden administration look stupid with all the drama they've gotten them involved in, that I feel like maybe the Biden administration will just let them land on their ass with this one. Because the guy that did file the delinquent status, the attorney general in California, he's a Democrat. And that's apparently what Meghan Markle is supposed to be, a Democrat also. But we know that most of the Democrats don't like Meghan Markle. The states have covered up the visa issue. They definitely have. They've covered up a lot of things. Come on, if they were going to cover up for Hunter Biden, then they're going to cover up for Harry and the visa issue. Biden is shaking hands with imaginary people. Not only that, he's tripping upstairs and just, I don't know, man. The world is in a cuckoo place. The world is in an absolutely nutter place. But I'm glad that this has finally come to light and the media is talking about this. But the media needs to be looking into something like the Loving Kindness Senior Care Management Incorporated. Larry of Franklin says the Heritage Foundation must be smiling right now since Has is not following the business rules in the USA as well as skipping the normal visa issues. Yeah, this is like I said, it's like they go 2 steps forward and then they take 100 steps, a full tumble right back and fall on their asses. Yes, Susan, that's a good point. Loving Kindness Senior Care Management is cash only, apparently. You can only pay in cash. And I've tried sending them an email to get information from them, and you never get a response. You never get a response, nothing. I'm sure if, like, say, one of Harry and Meghan's little minions who are working for them, if they listen to this video and they hear me say, yeah, I've sent Loving Kindness Senior Management an email asking them about their facility and I never got a response. I bet you there's an email. There's an email on the website that you can, it's like a little information thing that you can fill out, and then it's supposed to send you information, but then no one reaches out. And it's funny because if you look at the actual papers for Loving Kindness Senior Management Facility, what happens is that it takes you to a place in Delaware, and the place in Delaware is actually um what is it? It's like a rundown office building above a chiropractor unit. It's a complete sham. It's a complete sham. But I wanted to share this because I'm a huge fan of the Reddit crew, like Saint Meghan Markle, huge fan. And we need to remember that they brought this up 2 months ago, that Doria is the president of Loving Kindness Senior Care Management, where they will lovingly take care of parents' financials. Yes, they are saying that they will take over your family, your family member that needs help, that isn't all there, but we will take care of your financials. Just sign it all over to us. Just sign everything over to us and we will deal with it. But you can only pay us in cash for our business. God, this is so shady. Look at the actual, like, I hate to say this, but Harry has really brought the trash into the royal family. I mean, this is just gutter, complete gutter. So this company is obviously registered in Delaware and it only exists on paper. And then when the whole thing was just, it's still online. Here's the website. I'll open it for you guys in a new tab so we can take a look at the website together, shall we? Let's take a look at this is the website. This is their website for Loving Kindness Senior Care Management, providing a holistic approach to senior care management. The capacity to care is the thing which life gives its deepest significance. Well, it was nice of Meghan to actually give the credit here because she usually, as we know, she never gives credit. And then they just use some stock images. And basically they write that we advocate and coordinate life care needs for your loved ones. The elderly population is growing and will soon be the largest population in need of supportive services. With chronic illnesses and disabilities on the rise, we can expect that more and more will need care and assistance from families and caregivers to help them with their daily needs and activities. Loving Kindness Senior Care Management was created to support and give peace of mind to you, your beloved parent, relative, or friend. We provide the care to help them thrive to we provide the care to help them thrive to their full capacity. Our services are ideal for families with busy schedules, i.e., meaning for those who won't really pay attention to why or how we are swindling the money of your loved ones. So basically, blah, blah, blah. They say that they would do an in-home assessment. They put together a customized care plan. And then you click here to reach out for a consultant. And you can put in your email address and stuff. I put in a fake phone number and you can schedule a consult, but then you never hear anything from them. You hear nothing from them. And what else is there here? Let's look at services. There's nothing. For services, they have comprehensive assessment, holistic health monitoring. Oh, you know, that's like probably Doria giving some ayahuasca to the patients, right? You get caregiver management, accompaniment to medical appointments, medication management. I bet you Harry would be dipping in those. Responding to medical emergencies, end of hospice life funeral arrangements, and then additional services here. They will coordinate legal services for elder law, conservatorship, living trust, durable power of attorney. Isn't that wild, guys? Isn't that wild? It's quite the grift going. They've got a whole fake website, everything going for it. I mean, how nice of a setup. And stupid Harry fell for it. Now, what has happened is that Loving Kindness Management is still Let me take a look here. Yeah, it's still active. Still active. So I don't know, maybe that is being used to launder money for Doria. Or I mean, maybe Harry and Meghan are giving that to Doria and then laundering money, but I don't know. This is all very, very shady. I know that someone in the comments had mentioned that the Sidley twins had done a full video on this. I suggest going and checking out that video also. But you guys, besides the fact that the news has now picked this up and it went around mainstream media quickly is crazy. And at the end of the day, Meghan, call your father and see how he's doing, right? Everything's a scam. Everything's a scam. They just, even the doctor, Martha, they can grease a doctor under the table and get him to sign off on whatever. It's not that hard these days. Anyways, guys, I wanted to jump on here. I wanted to bring this, like, just talk about this because I feel like the more channels that keep talking about this, we keep it in the news media. We keep it circulating until they file all the proper paperwork that needs to be handed in for them to be in good standing. And I'm glad that finally the media has picked up on it. Liz Gaspari says she blames the local postal service. I know, right? I mean, you can do everything is done online. It's just like how Meghan claimed her father's invite to her wedding was lost in the mail. Same excuse. She could have at least came up with something better. Who knows? I mean, these two are ridiculous. Civil Defense says, Molly, you know I work on the Crown Estate. Breaking news, the CPS UK have asked for a review into Meghan misleading the Crown Court. Wow, really? That is wild. You know what? I'm going to send you a DM later and I want some more information on that. That is crazy because obviously, I have not heard anything. You are the very first person who has mentioned this. So we got to look more into this and know more. It almost feels like maybe this Nigerian faux fake trip was the straw that is the straw that will break the camel's back. Maybe people are sick and tired of the BS that Meghan Markle constantly shovels out. Oh, Crown Prosecution Service. So it has to do with the invisible kids? Does it? This is very interesting, guys. This is very, very interesting. I like the fact that I was going to say that I like the fact that if you guys haven't checked out the Royal Grift, she uploaded a video right before this live about how a couple of businesses or a couple of organizations are asking about the proof of Meghan Markle's Nigerian heritage. They want to know, where is the money going to be spent about this? Oh, it's about Meghan lying up in court. So the Royal Grift did a video about Nigerians asking about this tour and everything. So maybe you guys should go check it out because the backlash is quick. I bet you Harry and Meghan didn't expect for there to be backlash this quick. Maybe people would start questioning it later, but no, the backlash has already begun. Nigerians are pissed off that two rich individuals like Harry and Meghan Markle, and Meghan claiming that she's Nigerian, but no one has ever seen the proof of this documentation that she is Nigerian, because there's no such thing as being 43% Nigerian. Let's be honest, guys. There's no such thing as that. And we need to, the truth needs to come out. You can't just go around lying constantly about every single thing. You can't go around lying about every single aspect about your life and expect people to constantly believe your BS. So I highly suggest people you go check out TRG's video. I'm going to upload a video later about Meghan's behavior in Nigeria and certain things that other people haven't touched on. But yeah, I think Meghan actually did herself in with this tour and acting like she's a Nigerian and she cares. And they did this under the guise of Invictus. This was nothing Invictus related because it was all Meghan. Me, Meghan, my country, my Nigeria, me, 43%. The 43% Nigerian who, it was so rude. Meghan was welcome to their country, but she didn't try any of their national food. She didn't try any of their local cuisine. She didn't like get involved in any of the dancing. She looked awkward, but she had no problems flinging her body at the men there like a cat in heat. So I'm glad that people are now wanting to see, well, what is the benefit of how much we have spent on this trip and what are they doing? And people should be questioning. Harry and Meghan, when they were there, they claimed that they were going to donate to the Light Academy, that school that they went to where Meghan was dressed like a cheap hooker of the evening with that peach colored nude dress with the open panels on the side and the back and the side and the non-existent side titties. Apparently, while they're delinquent, they still made a promise to pledge $20,000 there. Are we just supposed to forget that Harry and Meghan are going around making all these monetary pledges to people? Has Wellchild received their pledge of $300,000 from Harry's spare? Has, what was it, Santabale? Have they received the $1.5 million that Harry said he was going to give? Probably not. All they do is just go around making BS promises, giving what? And then where did they go? Lagos next, and they said, oh, we're going to build a basketball court. You think the hungry children in Lagos want a basketball court? I would have been more impressed had Meghan and Harry shown up to Nigeria with, say, I don't know, 6 or 7 trucks, massive trucks filled with bags of rice and just necessities like flour. Because if you guys don't know, the cost of rice, which is their basic necessity there, has skyrocketed by over like 30%. Like the inflation there has been nuts where even people like they can't even afford rice for their meals. Had trucks filled with jam, that would be, I would not wish that even on my worst enemy, Otto. I would not. Basketball courts and putting a little bit of asphalt and concrete on a little bit of dirt does not cost a lot of money. So Harry and Meghan basically went for the cheapest option. I would have been more impressed had you shown up and dropped off a whole bunch of food for these people so that, you know what, for this winter and next winter, you don't have to worry about your rice supply for the village. That would have been a lot more impressive to me than whatever basketball court and giving money to an already wealthy school where the children who are attending are from wealthy families. You think regular Nigerians can send their children to private Muslim schools? They can't. If they wanted to do something special, show up and give something. Show up and do good like you guys claim. Show up and do good. You don't do good. You didn't do anything. Harry looked like he brought an escort with him and he looked drugged out more than half the time. They both did. They both looked uncomfortable and drugged out. Paul, don't worry about him. He blocked me also. Don't worry about him at all. He's a complete grifter. He's a grifter also. But yeah, had Harry and Meghan shown up with, like, say, a year's worth of supplies for the villages so that they didn't have to worry about their meals or anything, or just their basic necessities like rice, that would have been more impressive to me. But you showed up and did nothing. You showed up and you flaunted your wealth in front of these people's faces because you were in a a safe, secure area. Harry and Meghan only went to private functions where they were in gated areas, so they were away from the normal communities. Whereas William and Catherine on their Caribbean tour went out into the communities. They were dancing with the people. Did you see any of that from Harry and Meghan? We didn't see any of that at all. So you tell me now who's the racist. You tell me now why the media isn't reporting on the fact that every single function Harry and Meghan went to was an indoor or secure location with gates or with, I don't know, they were secure. They weren't out in the open. But anyways, you guys, I feel like this Nigeria trip just has further just shown people who they are. These two who claim to be humanitarians, Meghan Markle, who loves saying, I'm a humanitarian, I care about other women. Really? Well, if you cared about other women, maybe you should have shown up with a truck full of, I don't know, period supplies for these Nigerian girls who can't afford period products. But what did they do instead? Instead, they sent one of their favorite squatties to go hand out 100 toiletries. 100 toiletries. While Meghan Markle is showing like off her new engagement ring. Did you guys see that I picked up on? You're going to go to a country that is predominantly in poverty and you're going to show off. I don't know if you guys caught this, but Meghan Markle thought that it was the best place to show off her new engagement ring. Okay, so this is the photo that I saw here, and I'm like, oh, look at this. Look, she's got it front and center. That's definitely a bigger rock than the original ring was. That's definitely an upgrade than what she had. You're going to go there and show off all these jewelry and everything. And the fact that this woman, what I found absolutely racist, you're wearing an evil eye bracelet to ward off what? Evil eyes from those around you? Are you trying to say something, Meghan? Yeah. I was not impressed at all. Civil Defense UK, thank you, darling. He says, the president of Nigeria has made a statement 3 hours ago stating Harry and Meghan have been banned from returning to the country. Really? I did not see that. I did not see that at all. I'm going to have to look into that. I'm going to have to definitely look into that because I haven't heard that yet. I don't know if I want to just give you a little heads up. If you hear it from like an AI channel, just be wary of it because those AI channels do make a lot of clickbait and they do like to put those out. And I feel like it's a trap to take down channels like myself. But Civil Defense, thank you for letting me know about that. And I will take a look into that for sure. And I'll make a video to let everyone know. But yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Where's the information coming from? Which is why after I get off of this, I'm going to go and do a quick searchy search and see what it says. It was HG. Well, if HG said it, then he must have. HG says that BS. HG says that BS. Well, we should look into it, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm not going to report on it yet. I'm not going to say it as a fact, but I will look into it and see what I hear, and I will let you guys know. I feel like sometimes stories get put out into the public as a trap for channels like myself and others so that they can take us down. So I'm very careful about the information that I put out here, but I will look into it and I will let you guys know. But yeah, the ring looks terrible. It looks like garbage. Anyways, this is what the trip was all about. It was all about Meghan. It was her needing to get her ego fed and feel like she is the number one person because really we see Meghan for who she is. We see that Meghan treats her own family like garbage. She treated the royal family like garbage. I mean, this was the royal family. The royal family, the family that she claims she never had, who are so great, who welcomed her with open arms. And look at how she's treated them. I'm just saying, Nigerians, you better call Meghan Markle out on her BS con or you're going to be next. That's all I'm saying. But I think I should leave on that note, my friends. It's been about an hour, and I really want to look into these other stories that you guys have told me about here, especially civil defense, these last couple notes. And there's a couple things I wanted to ask you, but I'll ask you in DM. But yeah, my friends, I think this was a good live. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm glad that the media has picked up on the fact that Archewell is delinquent and they haven't paid for any of, well, they haven't paid their bills. They haven't filed any of their documents. I mean, what are they going to do? They can't think that they're above everyone all the time and can do things on their own terms. It doesn't work like that. It's not a Dimonique. I don't even think she can get a Dimonique. What was that other fake one? It was like a Dimonel or something like that. A civil defense, that's kind of you say with regards to court action against Meghan. That is direct from the CPS UK. Wow. Oh, okay. That's a lot. Well, we have a lot I got a lot to look into here, my friends. I wanted to thank you all for joining me in today's live and being here with me. And you know what? I think we all should rejoice in the smackdown that Harry and Meghan are getting and being brought down to reality that they are not royals. They are just two degenerate losers who think they are royals, but really they don't even have their heads screwed on straight. Let's be honest. Betty Rebel, thank you for the super sticker, my dear. That's really kind of you. All right, my friends, I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to go do a little bit of research and then I should have a video up for you guys maybe a little bit later today, but make sure your notifications are on and you're following me and you're subscribed and all that good YouTube stuff. And once again, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, my friends. And I think Harry and Meghan should now be called the Duke and Duchess of Delinquency. I think that's a great fitting name for them. I will catch you guys all in the next one. Thanks for being here with me, my friends. Stay gorgeous, my lovelies. Have a wonderful day. Bye.